LIEnette just can't stop talking to the mole, and now it's all about dead turtles. To put everything in perspective, LIEnette started posting online about receiving packages with turtles, stating that one was upside down, it passed away, it's dead. Now, this isn't the first turtle to die in her care by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, she's posted all kinds of things about other animals dying, both intentionally and accidentally. She's done it and then stated that I somehow hacked her turtle page. Me, now I'm a hacker? This is interesting. But somebody, according to her, shipped her a turtle. It was shipped upside down, according to LIEnette. And you have to take that in its entirety, according to LIEnette. Emphasis on lie. She then takes it to the University of Gainesville and they try to save it, but it's already too far gone. Well, the mole starts a conversation with LIEnette, as you can see here. Michelle Preston Sr. Even though her daughter's name is Michelle, not her name. Her name is LIEnette, and most of her life she went by her self-given stage name, Lacey. The mole says to LIEnette, "Sorry, just saw the post on the turtles. Have you reported the driver?" Now, this is in reference to stating that the driver and the packaging, it's all their fault that this turtle died because they had it upside down, which first and foremost, I think it's extremely important to understand. Last I checked, it's illegal to ship live turtles. Last I checked. Now, things might have changed and I may be out of the loop on this, but last I checked, it is not okay. Which LIEnette says the box went through many hands from MO to here. Okay. Well, we know here is Otter Creek. MO, we're going to guess Missouri, but with LIEnette, it's anybody's guess. What I really find interesting is there's a dot after MO. Now, we know LIEnette's MO. It's something happens, she blames it on everybody else, and then we get all the information, we debunk it. Because it makes us feel good. Oh, it makes us feel so good. So, what happens next is the mole says, was it labeled properly with live animal? Ain't there should be tracking on this package? And then LIEnette says, yes, no return address. I got this, no worries. Okay. I guess my first concern is, who in the world is actually accepting animals with no return address without knowing where they're coming and where their history has been and currently is and will be once you introduce a new animal to all the other surrounding animals? In other words, for example, I have peacocks. You don't take a brand new peacock and introduce it to the entire flock of peacocks because they could have any types of different illnesses. And they could pass that illness on to the rest of the flock, and that could take out the entire flock. So you have to have a record, and you have to know what's going on with that animal. And there's typically an isolation period before you actually introduce that animal to any other animals. Who would take a box with... Okay, I've got a couple theories here, all right? Number one, my first theory is somebody literally shipped her a dead turtle. Now, that is not okay. No matter how you feel, that is not okay. And as I've stated so many times, LIEnette has been doing this from the very beginning of entering Otter Creek to all of the residents. You see what she's done to myself. But I didn't even start to share that until spring of 2023. And in yesterday's episode, you saw things that were going on with Pew Pews in 2022. We knew all about it. We didn't share it. We waited patiently, continuing to patiently wait for things to change. And it never did, ever. So I've stated the entire time, nobody should ever be contacting anybody who is associated with the news of my life. Period. End of story. So I don't want to think that anybody would be that foolish and that horrific to actually just ship a dead turtle. And I think that's the least likely of the incidences or possibilities here. The other possibility is some foolish individual actually shipped a live turtle to LIEnette. Now, who in the right mind would actually entrust any living thing, whether it be animal or plant, to LIEnette? I mean, Levy County deputies have found all the plants rotting in the backyard as they take from all these food banks more than they can actually use, and then it just goes in the backyard when there are people out there that are actually hungry who could have been eating that food. It's being illegally dumped on the neighbor's property. Okay, so let's say that it is shipped improperly, and frankly, and all I can say at this point, in my opinion, illegally, because I don't believe you can legally ship them. Again, not 100% for sure. So let's say it does go from Missouri to Otter Creek in a package. That's not okay either by any stretch of the imagination. And I can see a lot of different things going on there. It seems like even when I ship packages for things that individuals have purchased when I resell, or if the team ships packages that individuals have purchased at resale, that the post office attempts to, I mean, especially if you put fragile on it, it's as if they want to do a touchdown victory dance with it and spike the package on the ground and kick it and hit it. And it's as if they do it intentionally. Now, I don't know that they do. I can't follow that package, but my goodness, that would actually be a really good YouTube video. Hitting cameras inside of a package to see what actually happens to that package as it's shipped from one area to the other behind the scenes inside the post office. We might end up doing that. But I think the most likely scenario here is LIEnette had another turtle pass away and die under her care, which is not the first and by all means will not be the last. And giant tortoises, and I could go on and on with the screenshots in regards to this, but I have in the past, so we're not going to relive it yet again. So the mole goes on to say, and they were just shipped to you? And LIEnette says, one, yes. Why? And now all of a sudden LIEnette's on the defensive. One, yes. Why are you throwing questions? I have it handled. Now, this is the woman who has publicly posted all over the internet. Ask me questions. Get to know me. I'll debunk everything. My truth will be told. Okay, so now she's defensive that somebody's asking her a question. Now, what does that automatically tell you? That tells you something is way off. This is what happens when LIEnette is caught in her lies, which is typical of individuals who are pathological liars, who are narcissists. If they get caught in their lie, all of a sudden they get extremely defensive about that lie. Trust me, I see it all the time. All the time. It's not a healthy thing by any stretch of the imagination. And the individuals that do it are just trying to defend themselves, but they're trying to defend something that doesn't exist. The lie. All right, so she's telling the lie already. And so the mole says no pictures, because I showed you proof when you asked for it. Now, keep in mind, LIEnette asked for proof of subpoena evidence, lawyer contact, everything in regards to the communication between LIEnette and the mole. As a matter of fact, that's how I have all this, is because there was a subpoena and there was a request for all this information. It went all through my lawyer, then to me. All right, so there are some of you going, Jeremy, there's no way you could be the mole. You are correct. There is no way I can be the mole. I've never been a mole. I never will be a mole. But the reality is there's enough moles. And LIEnette's enough mole for herself. So's Crook. I mean, they just literally can't shut their mouths. First time Crook ever shut his mouth is when Levy County deputies were at his camper door banging on it because he was pointing firearms at 8-year-old girls. All right, and then LIEnette goes, I don't know you. I don't know you anything. I think she's trying to say I don't owe you anything. I don't know you anything. I mean, there's the reality of that. LIEnette does not know this individual. LIEnette doesn't know anybody who she's talking to online. And she's never even met Marla yet in person. She says, I don't know you anything. This isn't about you. This is about a poor tortoise. It has nothing to do with you unless you're arming the other side with information. Ding, ding, ding. I think we have a winner. I think we do. Yep, she actually said that. Unless you're arming the other side with information. Okay, as you could see there. And then she goes on to say, and so I could use it against me. It's nobody's business but mine. What the H-E double hockey stick? Oh, wait. Remember, she said she doesn't use any foul language. No foul language. Now, here's the difference. LIEnette claims she's an ordained minister and says she's never uses any foul language at all. And yet, I have so much foul language, and all of this has been spoken between her phone, and with a child listening. So that's an easy one. That's debunked. I've never claimed I've never used foul language. As a matter of fact, I'm very open about it, that there are times I've used foul language. Push me too far. Trespass on my property. See what's going to happen. All right? And so, is it appropriate? I do believe language is cultural based, and there are things that our culture says this is okay, this is not okay. Go somewhere else, that same word means nothing. It's a word. But I do believe that there are cultural norms, and so I really don't care in regards to the communication that somebody uses. Now, if somebody's using improper communication or disrespectful communication around me, I may ask them, number one, to stop or to leave. But LIEnette claims she doesn't speak like this at all, and yet we have so many examples of it. And she's getting extremely defensive. This isn't about you, Mo. This is about a poor, defenseless tortoise. Are you arming the other side? Well, yes, this individual is, because they were subpoenaed to do such. All right? They had a document. This isn't the only individual. There's so much more out there. Remember, Don the Con's even calling my lawyer. And then LIEnette goes, this is the funniest thing. Take care, good night, I'm going to bed. Conversation is over. Remember how many times LIEnette has blocked this person already, and then she unblocks this person? LIEnette is that toxic individual in any relationship. I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. I'm block. I mean, it's just nonstop. Nonstop, because she seeks nothing more than attention. So what else does she have to say? Well, the mole goes on to say some pretty powerful things here. Okay, so you got no proof? So it didn't happen? This is all a figment of imagination? Remember Mr. Rogers' world, the world of make-believe. That make-believe house that they have. All right. And then the mole goes on to say, all I wanted was proof. I've provided all the stuff you asked for, like the copy of the letter from the lawyer. And I got them to you right away. So are you living about the turtles? And then corrects it, says lying. Okay? Are you lying about the turtles? Now, remember, LIEnette said good night. Now, I want you to notice the time here, because LIEnette does a lot of this all through the night. 3:55 a.m. 3:55 a.m. Yep. 3:55 a.m. Why do you need proof? Are you investigating me? Can we say potentially rug-induced paranoia? I mean, that's my speculation. That's my opinion on the situation here. Allegedly. I love it. I love it when individuals out there, fans, viewers, or YouTubers go, if you say allegedly, it's okay. No. If you say something that is defamation and you go allegedly, that doesn't make it okay. That makes it defamation, and you're legally liable for it. So I am seeing signs of induced paranoia in the middle of the night here and going, are you investigating me? Well, She's absolutely under investigation. There's a lot of agencies investigating her. Now, is it going to go anywhere? I wish I could tell you yes, but I'm not in charge of those investigations. I think there's a lot of people that are under investigation. Russ the Sus is under investigation right now. He's under a very deep investigation, a very serious investigation. And just because you're not hearing anything about it in updates doesn't mean it's not happening. It's absolutely happening. Those who are involved in that investigation know where that process is going. And there's plenty of investigations with LIEnette as well. So then LIEnette continues on at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Keep in mind, she's in a shed illegally, and there is a child in the shed illegally sleeping in a hammock, allegedly. And LIEnette goes on to say, now every aspect of my life I have to provide you proof of. I don't owe you anything about my business. Can we all say it together? Psycho. Like this is borderline crazy right here for sure. I don't owe you anything about my business. My rescue has nothing to do with my legal issues. I don't lie about anything. Ever. Wait, hold a second. Is this the same individual who said my mom died? Wait, my mom didn't die? Is this the same individual that posted all over the internet, John never pulled out a firearm on anyone, but yet then claims that she called the Levy County deputy because the firearm was pulled out? She was in a fight with Chad. Is this the same woman that says that there have been no drug addicts on her property, and yet I have proof from her own word, from her own postings, that there have been no less, and I'm sure many more, 7 drug addicts and dealers on her property? Is this the same woman? You see where I'm going here? I don't lie! Ever! It's like Star Trek. You guys remember the old Star Trek? Con! Ever! It's the only thing this woman knows how to do is lie. Like, this is insanity. This is mental insanity. And there are people that need to come forward and help individuals that are victimized by this, that are entrapped by this. Why at 4 a.m. is anybody, number one, communicating like this? Number two, so defensive. I mean, we already understand the defensive aspect, right? We already understand that. She's defensive because she's got caught, all right? And now I don't have to provide you proof. I don't owe you anything about my business. This is the woman, if you could call her a woman. I say that tongue-in-cheek because I'm not sure I would ever consider her a true woman. This is the woman who posts all of her dirty laundry and her business online. I know of 13 Facebook pages, no less, with every insane rant you could ever think of. Every posting defaming somebody else. Literally. Illegal defamation. John even. Again, I still can't wrap my head around how this woman literally meets somebody, like the day she met me, and tells me she wants John unalive. She's said this to Madam Mayor, to her husband Brett. She said this to everybody she gets in contact with. This woman literally tells you that the moment you meet her. It is so inappropriate. It is so gross. And yet, Crook is still there? What's the draw? No teeth? I mean, is it that the draw for Crook? He's talked about putting things in people's mouths and having pictures. Is that it? Because that ain't worth it. Oh my goodness, the stench that probably comes from both of their mouths. So a woman, again, loosely used, stating that it's nobody's business, and yet she posted all over the internet, making it other people's business. Where's the irony in that? Because remember, she don't lie. That's the thing. She don't lie. Ever! I'm surprised she didn't say ugh there. And then, so she goes on to tell them all, it's none of your business. None of it is any of your business. And then she goes on to say, my proof will be on my rescue page in the morning. And then don't ever contact me again. Oh my goodness. All right, so which is it? I don't owe you anything, or there's going to be proof. I don't know which personality is actually typing at 4 a.m. I mean, this so reminds me of the movie Split. I just don't know which personality it is at any point in time. So her proof is now all of a sudden going to be uploaded in the morning. Well, it is 4 a.m. Why not just upload it at 4 a.m.? Obviously, nothing else is going on at this point in time. So it's nobody's business, yet she's going to post it anyway, like she does with everything. And then don't ever contact me again. This is the block. And then let me make sure I unblock you. And then I'm going to block you. But let me make sure I unblock you. Oh, I'm going to block you. But let me make sure I unblock you. The toxicity of this woman. And I'm not just talking about the stench from her mouth or any other orifice. This woman is pure toxicity. It is horrific. And then she goes on to say, I just remembered that I can't use me anymore. I'm going to have someone else mess with you and you open yourself to be their victim. Okay. So now all of a sudden, LIEnette says, I just remembered I can't use me anymore. I'm going to have somebody else mess with you and you'll be their victim. Well, let's get something very, very clear. The mole isn't a victim of What the Hales. As a matter of fact, the mole is working hand in hand with What the Hales legal team and will be giving testimony against LIEnette in federal court. Now, the mole has actually messaged me personally today and said, do I need to be there for the Ohio July 19th, 2024 hearing? And I said, no, that's just violation of the civil protection order, and she won't be needed as witness there. She'll be needed in the federal case. Now, there are so many witnesses coming forward for the federal case, more than we ever anticipated, and more that want to be there. And so we appreciate that about this individual. But why is LIEnette saying, I just remembered when that, literally, these are the words, I just remembered when that can't use me anymore. Oh, because there's a civil protection order, third-party contact. So LIEnette actually proves here again, I'm going to have someone else mess with, and you've opened yourself up to be their victim. That seems like a threat to me, first of all. So I'm trying to figure this out. So LIEnette is trying to do third-party contact. She's going to have somebody else be her mouthpiece, which she used Marli Huge for quite some time. She would actually tell Marli what to post, and Marli would post it, and that is still third-party contact, and that'll be contested in court. It's a long process. This may end up taking years, unfortunately. Unfortunately for us, that we have to actually live with it. Have to live with this insanity for potentially years before it's actually all finalized. But then this is also can be taken as a threat. I'm going to have someone else to mess with. Okay. I'll show it to you here where it's a little bit clearer. To mess with, and then you've opened yourself to be their victim. Now, obviously, she doesn't understand how to spell there. There's T-H-E-R-E, T-H-E-I-R, which is possessive, and T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, meaning they are. Well, LIEnette has claimed she never lies. That's the thing. She never lies. Ever! Except she posted that she graduated high school early, went to college early. She was the Doogie Howser of the entire animal kingdom of tortoisei and turtai. Okay? And yet it's all a lie. She dropped out of high school. She had to go back and get her GED. She did attempt to go to college, and then she dropped out after the first semester as well. So she then goes on, this is all LIEnette, she goes on to say, there's a difference from a warning letter, which means nothing in court. Now we're back to talking about the letters that the mole received from my lawyer. There's a difference from a warning letter, which means nothing in court, and a subpoena from the judge. And that was because of the situation had nothing to do with my business. Had nothing to do with your business. Period. Who says the word period in the text? Why not just put a period? As if LIEnette even knows what a period is. I know, another horrible mental image. I get it. But I don't have to tell you what's going on in my personal life. It has nothing to do with you or them. Period! The mole comes back extremely strong at 7:53 a.m. You can see right here. Really doing an incredible job, honestly, putting LIEnette in her place. She said, you asked for proof, and I shown you proof. I wasn't lying. You can type anything, and people will believe it. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Now, this is a very, very, very strong statement from this mole. You can type anything, and people will believe it. Let's take this in the aspect of YouTube. You can say anything about somebody else, and foolish people will believe it. That's the problem with social media. That's a huge problem with social media. Because if one YouTuber says something about somebody, and they don't have any information to back it up whatsoever, that's legal defamation. That is not okay. If it's true, prove it. Right? You get it, I get it. If it's true, then you prove it, and then you're okay. It's protected speech. If you're saying something, whoa, Jeremy Hales, he's a child rapist. Oh, okay, and you have no proof, right? That's defamation. And I want to say this extremely clearly. I'd like to see anybody go through the HE double hockey stick and the character assassination that I've gone through with this defamation, with all of these things and accusations that have been made against me, saying that I rapped a 3-year-old daughter. And then people go, oh, he's a Christian. He should turn the other cheek. No. Wrong. Why don't you take the Bible in its whole? I am a Christian. I'm a Christian because I have problems and I know I'm not okay. Therefore, I need God to help me be okay. Number one. Number two, what does Jesus say? We are to actually submit to our authorities, to our governors, to our governments. And what does our government say when somebody does something along these lines? They say, this is the route that you go. That's how we end up in our court system in this country. Oh, but I'm supposed to turn the other cheek? Wait, so what is it? Do I submit to the government and the authority within that government and do what they tell me to do when a situation like this? Or do I turn the other cheek? My goodness, how stupid. I would love to see these individuals who say, well, Jeremy claims he's a Christian. He should turn the other cheek. He should forgive. Are you freaking insane? It's a freaking free tablet. The individual horrifically said that I did one of the most heinous things that anything could be done in the world to another individual, a child, a female child at the age of 3. And you think I should just forgive? Wrong. There will be consequences. Now there's going to be those individuals that God says vengeance is the Lord. Yeah, guess what? God uses people for his vengeance. If you don't believe me, why don't you go and read the entire book of Judges? The entire book of Judges. God used a judge to wipe out entire nations of sinners. You know of one probably. I know you've heard of Samson. Samson was a judge. By the way, God used females as well. Deborah was a judge. God used them to wipe out entire nations, entire countries, entire cultures who were sinning. Vengeance is the Lord, and he uses men and women to carry out his work. They will be called out on what they've done. They will be held accountable for what they've done. God will forgive them. I'm not at that place yet. I'm never going to be at a place humanly where I can forgive somebody who said that I did one of the most heinous things in the world to a female child. Not going to happen. Pathological lying. Not going to happen. And any fool out there that goes, well, you should just forgive. Let's see you forgive in that situation. Or should I say, well, then I hope it happens to you. And then why don't you film it all for us and let us see how you deal with that in your life? Foolishness. The foolishness that come out of fools' mouths. By the way, want to talk about the Bible? The entire book of Proverbs talks about a fool and all the ramblings that come out of that individual's mouth. It's talking about LIEnette, okay? It's literally talking about LIEnette. It equates lying with the tongue, the lying tongue, to witchcraft. That's how serious it is. Why do I bring God into this conversation? Because LIEnette continues to bring God in the conversation. This is the insanity of this woman, because she says, God knows who I am, so God bless. And take care. And don't ever contact me again. How many times has LIEnette told the mole so far not to contact her again? Blocked her, unblocked her, sent messages, unsent messages. So the mole goes on to say, oh, LIEnette says, peace out, as if she just dropped the microphone. Peace out! The mole goes on to say, putting LIEnette in her place. Okay, see what happens. I don't play games. I may be a Christian, but when it comes down to me and my life and my family, I can become the meanest, hugest, there's some language in there that I'm not going to repeat right now. It's not appropriate for YouTube, but you can see what it says there. And by all means, the mole has been threatened by LIEnette multiple times, and the mole is standing her ground. The mole, frankly, is being used by God to actually bring out the consequences for LIEnette's habitual, pathological lying. So she says, see what happens. I don't play games. I may be a Christian. Keep in mind, Christians are Christians because they know they're not perfect. Here's the thing. The funniest thing is when people sit there and go, well, they're a Christian, they shouldn't act like that. Christians don't become Christians because they're perfect. They become Christians because they're not perfect. They know they need help, and they know they're never going to be perfect. So the hypocrisy, not of the Christian, and don't get me wrong, there's a ton of Christian hypocrisy out there. The hypocrisy from, we'll say, somebody who's a non-Christian to go, they're a Christian, they should never do that. Wrong. They literally go, I shouldn't do this. This is why I need to become a Christian. I need to rely on my faith in God. I need his strength because I can't do it on my own. Do you see the hypocrisy of the outsider looking in and go, they're a Christian, they shouldn't talk like that. They're a Christian, they shouldn't do that. The Christian knows that. That's why they're a Christian. They go, God, I need your help. And you better believe I need God's help dealing with LIEnette CROOK. And even then, there are times where I don't know if it's enough. Now, I know God's got me. But there are times where I don't know if it's enough. And the mole goes on to say, I may be a Christian, but when it comes down to me and my family, I'll become the hugest, meanest. You don't want to mess with me, is basically what the mole is saying. And I would agree with her. Or him. Or her. Whoever it may be, I would agree with them. Mess with me, my family, my friends. I'm going to have a problem with you. A major one. Major one. And you want to see, here's the thing. People who meet me know that I'm a giver. There's no doubt about it. That's in my DNA. And then you take advantage of me and you steal from me. Then you take advantage of me and you lie to me. Then you take advantage of me and you lie about me. And then you want to cry victim afterwards because all of a sudden I'm not giving you what you want anymore. And all of a sudden you created this huge problem. LIEnette, there's others. LIEnette, CROOK, Russ the Sus, Mary, stealing from me, lying about me. And then they want to cry victim. Oh, he's a Christian. He can't take us to court. He's a Christian. He can't say those words. He's a Christian. How dare he call names? Oh, you mean Jesus Christ, who called all those who claimed to be Christians, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, called them whitewashed sepulchres, which there is a tremendous meaning to that. It means they're fake. Called them serpents, means they are pathological liars and can't be trusted. And the list goes on and on. Jesus, who goes into the temple with all the thieves, which I have plenty in Otter Creek living across the street from me now, and takes the money-changing tables and flips them. He takes a whip and he actually chases them out of the temple. You think Jesus has a problem with these types of individuals? You better believe it. All right. And the mole has a problem with these types of people too. No doubt about it. She says, or he says, or she says, or he says, whoever it may be, test me and find out. I have screenshots saved in my iCloud of every conversation we've had. Every conversation. So yes, please try me. Since LIEnette was so adamant to share all this information with the world, which I'm not sure why anybody ever would, your dirty laundry is not to be aired out. And you could say, Jeremy, then why are you airing this out online? I'm doing this for accountability and to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. Any YouTubers out there where there are insane people who stalk you, this is what's going to happen to you. And at the end of it, I have no doubt whatsoever, I will win in federal court. There is no doubt at all in federal court, I will win. I have already won in Ohio court, and in the civil court, the circuit court in Florida, once a new judge is appointed, I have no doubt I will win there as well. So let's take a look at some of the postings online, because this was then sent to my lawyer as well, and it's all about this dead turtle. So Tina says, and she posts, I don't even know where this is from. So this is some Facebook page somewhere. I don't know. It's not in the screenshot. So this was sent to my lawyer, and then my lawyer has forwarded everything to me that has been sent to him in regards to getting all the information. So Tina said, just got off the phone with UPS. She did receive 2 boxes, and an investigation was opened. The boxes were not marked live animal, nor was it aired, so no air holes. LIEnette, I know you'll see this. I messaged you on your page last night. You should have immediately notified the right people. So I did. All right. So Tina apparently went ahead and started the investigation and notified the right people. According to Tina, I have no proof. And so this is the same thing we were talking about before. Anybody can say anything about anybody or anything about somebody. And without the actual evidence, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I have no proof that Tina started this investigation. I have no proof that Tina actually talked to the United Postal Service. I believe she did, but without proof, I can't say that this actually happened. But she's stating that she did, and that's where we'll take it. We'll state that she said she opened the investigation. She has reported this. And then Pam goes on to say to Tina, says, I bet you 10-1 when she takes pictures of the box, there will be air holes and live animals written all over it now. She fixed it real fast. And then Jimmy goes on to say, let's see those receipts. Now, that's one of the things we love to show. The screenshots, the timelines, and the receipts. You know that, we know that, and so it's a ton of fun when you actually have it. So let's see what LIEnette has to say else to the mole. Here we go. There was a phone call. You can see right there, there was a phone call. And then LIEnette goes, oh my, oh, there we go. Taking the Lord's name in vain again. There is your ordained minister in Otter Creek, taking the Lord's name in vain again. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a drinking game for water. It's hot out. It's 90 degrees out right now. Every time she takes the Lord's name in vain, we drink. Okay. All right. So LIEnette just did it again, and then she goes on to say, "Funny thing is, I never said anything wrong. I never said anything threatening, not even to the other side. The only one who's made any threats here as you, that is," she's supposed to say is, "the only one that's made any threats here as you, that is sad. I feel pretty sorry for you. I will pray and pray that God makes your health better every day." Can you hear the sarcasm? "Your health better every day and gives you all the blessings that you need and want and desire. But don't ever contact me again, period." Man, we should have did this drinking game with periods instead of taking the Lord's name in vain. Maybe we should add it both. You know, you can never have enough water in 90-degree weather. "Don't ever contact me again, period. Leave me, my little girl, and my family alone." What family? She makes it beyond evident to everyone she comes in contact with. "He's my ex-husband." Yeah, one of 7. You think there's an issue there? So when LIEnette is pressed by the mole saying, try me, I have everything saved. LIEnette now wants to put the charm on. Oh, I'm going to pray for you. I'm not going to get my way right now with you, so I'm going to pray for you that your health is okay and you're going to be all right. But don't ever contact me. Leave me, my little girl, my family. All of a sudden, she has a family? Where did this family come from? Because LIEnette is the one that created the Facebook family alienation page. Because her mom, because her daughters, because anybody who's ever known this woman wants her out of their life and as far away as possible. So how's this family already? Where'd it come from? There isn't one. She's clear. You've heard her tell the Levy County deputies, John Crook is my ex-husband. I am not married to him. Huh. But they're somehow a family now? Yep. Debunked. Absolutely debunked. So LIEnette's going to try and turn the charm on here for the mole, because the mole says, I have everything. And LIEnette knows that the mole has everything. And if the mole has everything, and my lawyer gets his hands on everything, and if I get my hands on everything, LIEnette's done. Now, there are some things I'm sharing with you, and there are some things I'm not. And then the mole goes on to say, you're going to love this. Okay, don't text me either. You got it. So we've got the whole blocking going on right now. Don't text me either. You got it. I'll consider you not my friend. If that's what you want, and if that's what you mean, I'm not your friend. Then I don't have to keep my mouth shut anymore. And you know what that means. LIEnette's scared. Okay, so this mole is saying, keep treating me like this, and I'll share everything I know and everything I have. Well, what is LIEnette's immediate response? LIEnette's immediate response is to show a picture of the box. Now, remember what Tina, Pam, and Jimmy all said? Do you see that writing there? That's LIEnette's handwriting. That is 100% LIEnette's handwriting. And you see where the pencil is stabbed into the box? It didn't come like this. She did this later. I guarantee you, to the best of my knowledge, even though my opinion, allegedly, my opinion is LIEnette actually wrote all of this. I recognize her handwriting. I've seen it enough. I have the world-renowned, the nation's best handwriting forensic expert. I've seen it enough. I've seen it everywhere. I know LIEnette's handwriting. I can feel confident telling you that my opinion is that's LIEnette's handwriting. I also feel confident telling you that I believe LIEnette punched holes in this box afterwards. I also truly believe that there was probably never any turtle shipped to LIEnette, but hold a second. Tina actually confirmed that there were 2 boxes that got there. I don't have the receipts for it, so I'm still up in the air. So maybe if Tina is correct, even though I haven't seen the receipts for it, if Tina is correct, 2 boxes did show up. Investigation is launched. And then LIEnette, in my opinion, writes live turtles and then pokes holes in with a pen or a pencil. And honestly, what I think, what I feel, they died because of her. Not because of the United Postal Service and not because of anybody who shipped them. She's going to try and cover herself again. Cover up for herself. LIEnette says, oh, those are tiny. Oh, and thank you. I never noticed them before. I never noticed them. So thank you. Thank you for making me show you proof so you wouldn't go and talk and share all the evidence with Jeremy's legal team. Hold a second. How can you have a tortoise sanctuary, which we all know is not a sanctuary, and not notice whether an animal is shipped appropriately or whether there are holes in the box? And you're a rehabilitator? You're a sanctuary for animals? This doesn't make sense to me. I mean, come on. 1, 2, 3, debunked. It's obviously her handwriting. She obviously went and poked, in my opinion. Those are tiny. They make a screen for animals, says LIEnette. And to be honest, I never saw those, so thank you. But look how you are trying to find even the tiniest thing to nail me with. It's just bizarre. I have so many friends. That's funny because I have a tremendous amount of posts saying that God didn't create her to have friends. She can't keep any friends. And that's true, she can't, because nobody can ever put up with her or tolerate her. Again, leaves me to question, how in the world is Crook still there? 7 marriages, 7 divorces. Obviously, those men got out as fast as they possibly could. And yet Crook is still on the property, which means financially he's dependent on her and she's dependent on him. They are in this cycle of toxicity and they financially can't get away from each other. It's the only thing I can come up with. Because I don't think it's the her not having teeth thing. The smell would just be too much. She says, I have so many friends and not one person is doing this to me. Not one! You're the only one! Why do I have all these posts from LIEnette that states she has no friends? Yeah. And so the mole is told, you're the only one doing it to me. It's insane. I opened the box. I throw it down, ran the tortoise into the house to take care of it. I then went out, took a picture of box, and never saw them. So what? I'm a big fat... I got to go to the next one. So what? I'm a big fat freaking liar. Yeah, she said freaking. She called herself a freaking liar. It's a freaking free tablet. Yep. So she goes, so what? Now I'm a freaking liar? A big fat freaking liar. Oh, wait, hold a second. Big fat? Is LIEnette body shaming people? Oh my goodness. Is LIEnette body shaming, saying big, fat? How dare she? How dare she use descriptive words such as big or fat? Oh my goodness, how dare LIEnette is body shaming people. Oh, wait, no, she's going to pull a full recovery here because I see itty bitty. No, don't worry. No, wait. Why is it only that body shaming is big and fat and body shaming isn't itty bitty? Do you ever ask yourself that? Why is body shaming just big and fat and not itty bitty? How about big and fat is descriptive words, and how about itty bitty is descriptive words, and if it's not meant to be body shaming, it's just descriptive. All right, let's keep going on though. So I'm a big fat freaking liar because I didn't see the little itty bitty pinholes. Yeah, she said itty bitty. The little itty bitty. Pinholes. You mean that she created? In the box? Good Lord, you got me. Oh my. Yeah, there we go. Hey, hold a second. Come on. You know what? We got to do one for Lord. Okay? She just said she took the Lord's name in vain for Lord. That's good. That is 2 lemonades, 1 green apple. That's a green apple lemonade right there. And then she said, oh my G. She wasn't talking about George. All right, stay hydrated, people. Stay hydrated. I have a feeling we're going to be getting more hydration. Good Lord, you got me. Oh my G. Hallelujah. 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 Okay, I'm a little off key. I'm a little pitchy, dog. Hallelujah. You got me. Oh boy, here we go again. Come on. With me now. Come on, you're with me, right? Let's do this. Okay, that's good. Oh my G, you proved it. I lied about the air holes. She's saying it right there. You proved it. I lied about the air holes. Well, of course she did. Now she's actually sarcastically admitting it. I lied about the air holes. I never saw them. So great, good, wonderful. You're a great investigator. Good job. Period. Another period. I wish I was making it up. I wish I was making it up. I wish this woman knew how to use grammar, punctuation. But there it is again. Capitalized even. A capital. You know it's serious when it's capitalized, period. Okay? That's some serious stuff right there. Period. No, I won't be texting you again. I'm going to have a wonderful day today with my little girl, and I'm going to go drop this poor baby off, and then I'm going to enjoy my day. So you have a blessed day too. Harley, Grace, and I will say a prayer for you this morning. God bless. Take care. You think I'm joking? Look at it. It's right there.